And good morning. Lots of pondering going on here this morning. I've chosen the title, A Ninth Wave, A Culture of Fear Leads to Lying. And the blurb I wrote 10 minutes ago goes like this. As I look at our political and economic system, including the structure of business and religion, I realize why there is so little truth. When we are convinced there is lack, it generates the fear of not having enough. Lack is a lie, creating fear and the justification for more lies, until our entire culture is living backwards. EVIL. At the root of everything that is wrong with our world, we will find the fear of lack. I actually chose some key words, which I don't normally read, and I don't oftentimes even create them until after I've done the video. Illuminate the darkness, tell the truth, abundance, endless supply, awakening, letting go. I may add more afterwards, but that's what I have so far. And I think I'm going to read the 3 quotes that I introduced my talk on September the 4th at the New Way. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Of course, that was Jesus. And then George Orwell said, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. And finally, Michael Ellner, whom I finally looked up and to see who he is. He's a writer, written some books on philosophy and stuff like that. Anyway, he said, just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy truth. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. The major media destroy information. And religion destroys spirituality. Indeed, our world is inside out and upside down. We do live, L-I-V-E, backwards, creating E-V-I-L. English is a beautiful language in that respect, because there's many such little hidden things within the English language. That may be true of other languages, but I don't know, because I don't know. Certainly don't know how to write in other languages for the most part. I know how to say thank you in a whole bunch, but beyond that, I probably know more Spanish than anything else, but I can't speak Spanish. I could not carry on a conversation in Spanish. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about this morning. I get taken off track really easily sometimes, lots of times. As I look back at my life when I was a little boy, it wasn't so much fear of lack at that point, because I wasn't aware of what lack was. But I was afraid of punishment. And being afraid of punishment, fear, being afraid of anything, generates the rationalization and the justification for not telling the truth. And I remembered when I was in my deposition early on in the lawsuit, the first year or so, when the lawsuit was in progress. It was a 14-hour deposition. And I absolutely told the truth, except for one thing, which I corrected in the deposition. But they asked me the question, were you in the room with Dr. Mary when she signed the trust papers? And I answered, No. But I couldn't live with that, and within a short time I corrected and said the truth. The truth is, when she first went into the room, I was not in the room. I was sitting outside the room where she couldn't even see me. But she requested of the paralegals that had drawn up the trust, she requested of them that I be in the room. And they did not object, and so I was invited to come into the room. And that's the way it really happened. But my initial thing was, well, I'm not supposed to be in the room. They're going to punish me. So I justified telling a partial truth, which is a lie. Partial truths are lies. I justified that based on my fear of being judged. But the most insidious fear, I believe, that exists in our world is the fear of lack. For anybody that has studied Nikola Tesla and Tesla technology, you understand that energy is the most abundant thing in the cosmos. It's virtually everywhere. Anytime there's any creation going on, there's energy involved, and it's free. We have created a culture on the planet Earth where we have the illusion that energy is in limited supply. It's a limited resource. Money, we've been taught, is in a limited supply. Most human beings don't have very much money. Much of the world, in the third world, I mean, people live on oftentimes less than $100 a year, or certainly less than $1,000 a year, speaking in dollar terms. Money is not at all plentiful. And then there are people on the planet that literally have millions, billions, and trillions of dollars, which is insane. And creates the illusion of lack. And the quest to gather more of that limited resource called money, and to protect what money we have, is the basis, as I see it, of all of our rationalizations and justifications, which are nice words for lying. And I think every single one of us gets caught up in it. And as long as we keep justifying our lies, we're going to keep creating the society that lives backwards, that creates evil, where injustice prevails, where spirituality is killed, where knowledge is hidden, where there is no freedom, only slavery. And it's slavery to the lie that there is lack. Nikola Tesla showed in the video that I posted a couple weeks or so ago, you can take a light bulb, a specially made light bulb obviously, and just sink it into the soil in various places and the light comes on. Why? Because the earth is a battery. There is an absolutely endless supply of energy, including money. If the Illuminati has taught us anything at all in our current world, where they have created on paper money into the quadrillions of units, whether you want to call them dollars, pounds, euros, yen, whatever you want to call them, dinars, rubles, quadrillions of them, quadrillions. That's a mind-bending number that is unfathomable to any individual human. It's unfathomable. We have nothing that can compare to it that would make sense except this. If there was that much money created on paper, which is an illusion, and it was distributed, there would be an endless supply of money for everyone. There would be no need for anyone to hoard anything. An endless and absolutely endless supply. Religions, churches, mosques, synagogues, temples would be able to operate and do their thing with no worry about 501c3s or any other regulations built on lies. Do you understand? I mean, yes, I'm looking at the new way, which uses the 501c3 as the excuse to corral and censor me, to limit me in what I'm allowed to say and not allowed to say because of fear that the government's going to take away something that will take away the resources needed to operate, because that's the mindset. And it creates a venue or an excuse for twisting the truth, just like I twisted the truth in the deposition. Were you in the room? Well, no, not at first, but yes, I was in the room. When the papers were signed, I was there. I twisted the truth because I believed the government actually had authority and power, and the lawyers could take away what I had been given. Fear of lack, because I had lived with lack most of my life, and now all of a sudden I had inherited some money because Dr. Mary loved me. She genuinely believed in me more than I often believed in myself. She saw something in me that was difficult most of the time for me to see. Even with all that I've experienced in my life, even with all the miracles that have happened, I had problems with that. And so I felt initially justified, but I came quickly to the point of telling the truth. And that's the way I choose to live my life. And it's going to offend some people. It's going to push some people's buttons big time. I know that. And I'm willing to accept that, because we need to get out of this box that we have created for ourselves, jointly in our collective consciousness, a culture of fear based on lack that leads to a culture of lying and not telling the truth. That's why George Orwell says telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act, because we live in a world of universal deceit. Everything is rationalized and justified, but it's not true. It's not true. The truth is, you and I are powerful creators. Powerful creators. We can make the world however we want it to be, if we'll only have the courage to tell the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Jesus was absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And how do you achieve that? Golden rule. Not he who has the gold makes the rules, but do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Love your neighbor as yourself. And in that you do love God. You do love the Creator. You do love the creation. It changes everything. There is no lack, folks. There's nothing to be afraid of, except fear itself. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. Yes, indeed. Fear is false evidence appearing real, and we've created a world of illusions, a world of delusions, where many things appear real that aren't. It's time to tell the truth. It's time to love. It's time to start living in the forward way instead of the backward way that produces evil. It's time to let go of the old system and awaken to the truth of this ninth wave unity consciousness that is sweeping our planet. Namaste. May you be blessed today.